This is a hidden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Ben will not count. 12th person voted out, the 5th member of our jury. Lauren, need to bring me your torch?
Good game, Lauren.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our Survivor Heroes, Healers, Hustlers X interview today with someone who I think is universally loved from this season in Lauren Rimmer. So thank you so much for checking out this podcast, checking out my exit with Lauren, and I think you'll really enjoy it. There's some really interesting tidbits, especially around Ben, and maybe a secret about who she really wanted to work with. All right, pressing play on that podcast with Lauren now. All right, on the line, I am patching in one of my favourite survivors from this season, Lauren Rimmer. Lauren, how are you going?
Hey, how are you, Ryan?
I'm fantastic. I feel like I have to firstly ask you, Lauren, are you aware of the fan reaction you've had, not only in America, but I'm in Australia, and I feel like universally people have absolutely loved you this season.
I know this sounds crazy, but I really have been totally unaware. I don't have Twitter.
Yeah.
I actually just got Instagram, so I've heard quite a bit about it, and, I'm so thankful. I would have never guessed in a million years that I would have generated so many people, and I love every second of it. I need to get Twitter soon because I hear there's a lot going on that I'm missing, so that's the next on my list.
Yeah, small steps, Lauren. It's a crazy world out there on social. I have to ask you about Tribal Council last night. Obviously, you've been asked this 1,000 times. When Ben stands up and he plays his idol, what's running through your head?
I'm going home.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. I mean, I knew it right then. I never had a clue that Ben had an idol. And as soon as he stood up and, everything's done and said with, I knew I was going home.
Was there any thought in your mind, oh, geez, I should just lean into the fire, grab that shell and put it on the rope and play the idol?
I really, sitting here, I was so in shock that this just happened, because again, I never thought Ben had an idol. And, if that was the case, then possibly we could have done some kind of a split vote, maybe me, Devin, Ashley, and Mike. And with me giving Crazy Mike, part of the idol, that was to, try to make sure that I had his trust, because he had a hard time trusting people because everybody kind of didn't include him in a lot of the votes, or tricked him, in voting a different way. So that, my reasoning for giving it to him was just to, hey, buddy, we're still good. Let's work together. This is a way to keep us stronger. And then the crazy joker goes and throws it in the fire, and I'm just so in shock. I never thought about picking it up.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. It was also mentioned in the Tribal Council about your extra votes. Did you actually leave it back at camp, or did you have it on you?
I had it in my pockets, and once I was trying to talk to Chrissy and calm her down, once Chrissy kind of started on me and, asking me all these questions, I immediately thought that Chrissy, Ryan, Mike, and Ben had got together and that they were going to vote against me, Devin, and Ashley, which, I would have still gone home. It still never occurred to me that, Ben had even had an idol. And once I opened my mouth about the secret advantage to Chrissy, I kind of couldn't back out. I had to go with it that I didn't have it. And, if I'd have used the damn thing, I could have sent Chrissy home, but that wasn't the case, obviously.
Lauren, can you talk about last week? Because last week we saw the formation of this group of 4, and I felt like this 4 was going to be the final 4. So what was it about those people that made you want to work with Ashley, Devin, and Ben last week?
I've always wanted to work with Devin. From day one, Devin starting out as the original Hustlers, I felt like I was on the bottom.
Yep.
And I connected with Devin, and, Ryan and Devin had a relationship, so therefore I needed to try to build a relationship with Ryan. But going in with Devin, I knew I wanted to work with him right until the end. He just was very kind-hearted, and you could tell he was a trustworthy person. Going in with Ashley, Ashley's the same way. She had a good heart, and, I think she played with her heart sometimes versus playing kind of cutthroat. And, which going with her and Devin to the end, I originally thought that this would be a good plan because they really haven't shown any kind of gameplay. And working with Ben, Ben was a strong guy. When it comes to challenges and different things, he and I accomplished a lot. And, we really did build a good rapport with each other when we hit that merge or the buff drop. We were on the very bottom, so we had no choice but to try to build a relationship. And it actually became a good relationship. But in the back of my mind, I wanted to work with him, but I knew at the same time I could never go to the end. So, and with, him being middle agent and all this kind of stuff, he volunteered to do it. I wanted him to do it because the way I look at it is if he gets caught, then that just puts a bigger target on his back. And it kept me kind of out on the outside a little bit. With
Ben being such a big player out there, and I think he was definitely someone who people were hoping to get out and not go to the final 3 with. Why was it that you decided to make the move last night? Why didn't you wait a vote or 2 votes down the line and then try and get him out? What was the rush to get him out at this point?
I actually think I went too late.
Okay, wow.
When Joe went out, I really was trying to work with Joe. Nobody liked Joe.
Yep.
Joe pissed everybody off. But he didn't bother me. The more he pissed everybody off, the better I was. And so I was really, wanted to work with him and Mike. But again, Mike, Joe and I talked, you can't trust Mike. You don't know if Mike is really with you or if he's really not with you. And when I threw the idea to, Ashley about let's get Ben, let's work with Joe and Mike, use their numbers and let's get Ben out. And Ashley was kind of on board, but Devin wasn't. And I really didn't want to push the issue because I didn't want them to turn on me and turn around and tell Ben at that point in time and make me a target at that, right then. So I did attempt to try to get Ben out earlier, which would have been the better option versus leaving him later in the game.
Laura, I think one of the huge things to come out of this season was that you were absolutely fantastic at challenges. Did you expect to be such a challenge beast and challenge fright coming into this season?
Well, my everyday work is a challenge. I'm pretty much by myself and working like commercial fishing. So I love doing stuff like that. And to me, I was like a kid, in middle school getting to play as an adult. So I didn't doubt myself that I was going to be good at certain challenges and certain things, but I didn't want to come out really, really strong, especially in the beginning, because we're not an individual. And I wanted you got to be a team in the beginning. And so I kind of trying to be a team player and stay a little in the back line a little bit, but at the same time, pull my weight when I needed to pull my weight. And, I'm very capable of doing a lot of things. I didn't have a doubt in my mind that I wasn't going to do my best and be good at it.
Can I ask you how amazing the experience was to have your sister come out, who's a super fan of the show, for her to come out, get to meet and hug Jeff, and then greet you as well? What was that like for you to be part of that experience for her as well? It
was an experience of a lifetime. I wouldn't take it back for anything in this world. I promised that crazy nut when I left that I would get her to the family visit, and I did. We started this together, and, she wasn't mad at me, because I got picked and she didn't. I just kept my word, and when she got there, it was amazing feeling because you go so long without seeing these people, and you're broke down in so many different ways. And then, to see them and to know that everything's okay, and, here you are, I've got you to this point. And then to have to draw a rock was the worst part. I got to see her for a few minutes, and she was, she got to experience something that neither one of us would have never expected to experience. So I'm really happy.
It's absolutely brilliant, Lauren, genuinely. So fantastic. I've got one last question to ask you. In your exit confessional, you said you were excited to start a new life. How has Survivor changed your life in the short time it's been since you played?
It's just being out there, and being in Survivor mode when I'm home. When I got home, it's like back to work. I'm back doing the same thing I did. If I don't go to work, I don't get a check. Yeah. And so every day is like a Survivor mode. But being out there, it makes me appreciate the hard work that I do home, and just, being stripped of everything that you have, no contact, no nothing, when I got home, I just appreciated everybody more, because you never know what's going to happen. And even just in traveling there and back, it makes you think that, I'm blessed to have experienced this, that so many people, try to do. And it just makes you very thankful.
Lauren, huge thank you for chatting to me today. I have been part of the Rimmer fan club since day one, so exciting to chat to you. I'm almost like your sister meeting pros chatting to you today. So thank you so much for taking the time, and best of luck.
No, thank you. I've enjoyed talking to you.
All right, that's my exit interview for this week with Survivor, Heroes, Healers, Hustlers, Lauren Rimmer. Huge thank you to CBS, Channel 9 Australia, and Lauren for taking the time to chat to me today. Stay tuned for my recap this week with Adam that will come out later today. So, yeah, a huge week of Survivor. We are down to 2 weeks to go, 6 players left, and I still feel like this is an open game. It could be anyone's game. All right, until next time, the community has spoken. I'll chat to you very soon. See ya. Bye.
Lauren, the tribe has spoken. Time for you to go.
Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Lauren.
Well, it was a tribal council in which everything was out in the open, and yet the one thing that had the most power was the only secret. Grab your torches, head back to camp. Good night.